Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share something a little more personal. How life has completely changed since bringing home our new puppy. But before diving into the chaos, the cuddles, and all the surprises, let's start by meeting the family. First up, there's Oreo, our 3-year-old Labrador Spaniel mix, full of energy and always ready with a wagging tail and a grin that could melt anyone's heart. Then we have Ellie, our 2-year-old domestic short-haired cat, calm and elegant, who observes the world from her favorite high perch, probably judging our every move. And finally, the newest member of the family, little Daisy, an 8-week-old golden retriever bursting with curiosity, mischief, and that irresistible puppy smell that somehow makes the lack of sleep feel worth it. When we first brought Daisy home, she was understandably nervous. Everything was new and strange, from the scents in the air to the sound of her own collar jingling. She would cling to us as we walked, following our every step, or sometimes hide beneath the table to make sense of her new surroundings. But by the very next morning, it was as though she'd flipped a switch. Bright-eyed, tail wagging, ready to play, nibbling on shoelaces, discovering every corner of the house and charming us all in the process. Oreo immediately fell in love with her. He has always adored other animals and seemed to take on the role of big brother instinctively, patient and protective, but occasionally bemused by this golden fluff ball nipping at his ears. Ellie, in true feline fashion, was far less impressed, sniffing Daisy's things with suspicion before deciding she wasn't worth losing her dignity over. Still, the peace held, and before long, all three of them found a rhythm that somehow worked. Once Daisy settled in, reality truly set in. Puppies sleep a lot, but when they're awake, they operate at full speed. It's like living with a furry toddler fueled by endless enthusiasm. She wanted to play, chew, and explore everything, and convincing her to settle down took time and patience. Potty training quickly became our biggest mission. In that first week, I was taking her outside every 30 minutes during the day and every 2 hours overnight, bleary-eyed but determined. She was surprisingly good with her training pads, yet I wanted her to get used to going outside, especially since I work from home and could keep an eye on her routine. Any gap longer than 3 hours risked a small accident, but that's part of the journey. At first, Daisy barely touched her food, so I soaked her kibble in warm water and let her graze throughout the day. Once she felt more comfortable, her appetite blossomed, and she began finishing her meals, always followed by the most adorable case of puppy hiccups, which still make me laugh. Now that she's settled, I've started introducing a more structured feeding schedule, because with puppies, routine is everything. The more confident she became, the more her personality shone. Daisy adores Oreo and follows him everywhere like a miniature shadow. If he lies down, she lies beside him. If he drinks water, she dashes to her own bowl. Watching them together feels like witnessing a sweet mentorship in action. Although Oreo occasionally gives her that long-suffering look that older siblings everywhere will recognize. She's tried to make friends with Ellie too, though tolerate might be a better word for how the cat feels. When Daisy bounds too close, Ellie's tail flicks in warning, and we all know what that means. Still, I secretly think Ellie's warming up. She started staying in the same room for longer, and that's progress in cat language. Then there's the chewing. Oh, the chewing. Daisy seems convinced that everything in the house exists purely to be tested by her tiny teeth, from shoes and furniture to sleeves, cables, and occasionally the edge of a wall. Because of that, we've spread chew toys absolutely everywhere, ready to swap one of our belongings for something she's actually allowed to bite. It's a bit of a circus, and the house looks like a toy shop after a storm. But slowly she's learning what's acceptable to gnaw and what isn't. Alongside that, she's started her basic training. In just 1 week, she's already mastered sit, down, and paw, and we're now practicing stay, leave it, and drop it. She's a quick learner and loves her treats, which makes every small success feel rewarding. Puppies are like sponges. They absorb everything around them, especially positive energy and encouragement. Now, I'll be honest, as delightful as Daisy is, raising a puppy is no small task. It turns your life upside down in ways you can't fully imagine until you're living it. You can't sleep in. Your once neat home becomes a maze of toys and training pads, and your daily routine must bend around the tiny creature who depends on you for everything. There are moments when exhaustion hits, when you've cleaned yet another little puddle on the floor, stepped on a squeaky toy at 2 a.m., and still need to get work done, cook dinner, and give attention to your other pets. Oreo's been a saint through it all, but sometimes he gives me that look that says, I didn't sign up for this much babysitting. Ellie spends more time upstairs, escaping the chaos. Yet amid all the madness, there are pure moments that make everything worthwhile. Like when Daisy curls up in your lap after a busy morning, or when she looks up at you with complete trust, her little tail thumping softly against the floor. After just 1 week, Daisy has already transformed our household. She's still full of mischief and mayhem, still tries to chew the wrong things, and still needs constant attention. But she's also clever, affectionate, and unbelievably loving. Her confidence grows each day. Her bond with Oreo deepens, and even Ellie's starting to share the same space without complaint, which,